Hey guys, this is Mike. Thanks for joining me on today's video. Today I'm going to be doing a review on the Redtiger F17 Elite dash camera. I figured I would do the review in this format with the dash cam actually recording as I speak, so that you guys can get a good idea of the camera's performance, the in-cabin view, as well as the audio recording of the camera, which is not something that I typically see in dash camera reviews. Quick overview of what I'm going to cover today. I'm going to talk about the initial impressions of the dash camera. I'm going to talk about the installation and initial setup. I'll be talking about the basic features and the user interface of the camera, and I'll also be talking about the picture quality or video quality of the camera itself. Then I'll talk about the price and value of the camera, as far as whether I think it's worth it. And I'll also talk about, I'll compare it to my previous dash cam, which was a Viofo A129 Duo, and then we'll talk about some final thoughts, some things I don't like about the camera. And yeah, so just to get it started, let's dive right into the initial impressions. Well, first thing before I get into it, I should state for full disclosure, Redtiger did send me this dash camera for free in exchange for providing or publishing a review on the dash cam itself. So I'll obviously keep that in mind. I'm going to try and be as unbiased and as objective as possible. I always say that it's best to collect your information, your sources of information from many different sources, and base your decision off of multiple resources rather than just one person. So with that in mind, yeah, let's jump into it with the initial impressions. So initial impressions, when I first received the dash camera from Redtiger a couple of weeks ago, it came in a shrink wrapped product box. I thought it was very premium feeling. The box itself, like everything inside the box, was well organized, easy to open, and just felt like a very premium product compared to when I received my Viofo A129 Duo camera. Of course, it has been 7 years since receiving the Viofo camera, and the Viofo was also in a different price bracket, being a basic 2-channel, not even a 4K camera. But I would say that the Redtiger F17 Elite does feel like a premium product, both in the packaging and when you get out of the packaging, and you're holding the camera in your hand. It does feel like a quality product. Let me just make this turn here. And part of the reason I'm also doing this review in this way is just to give you an idea of the full color night vision that Redtiger seems to be very proud of with the new Starvis sensors, Starvis 2 sensors. I figured I might as well just go for a drive and talk about the video quality of the camera itself as I go. Next thing I want to talk about is the actual installation and the initial setup of the camera. It's pretty much what you would expect with most dash cams, at least what I hope you would expect with most dash cams. No drama at all, very easy to set up. Redtiger does include pretty much everything that you need to get the camera installed. Redtiger does include a 128 gigabyte micro SD card. It is a Redtiger branded card, so I don't know how reliable the card itself is, but for the past 2 weeks, I haven't had any issues with the camera or with the card or with saving clips. So I guess there's that. The initial setup was very easy. You just go through, once you start it up, you go through the initial settings, like setting the date and time. You choose your your viewing settings. It's easy enough to scroll through the different views just by pressing a single button on the bottom of the dash camera. And yeah, as far as installation goes, very straightforward, I would say. With the Viofo camera, I installed the dash camera. I had the cable to the rear running into the headliner, and then down the front of the A-pillar, and then crossing over and running to the back of the car. I did the same thing with the Redtiger F17 Elite. No issues at all doing it that way. Worked great. And as far as running power to the dash cam, it does come with the 12 volt socket adapter in the box. But if you want, you can also purchase the separately sold hardwire kit for the Redtiger camera. I don't remember how much it costs, but I think pretty much any hardwired kit would also work. You will need the hardware kit to be a USB-C connection though. Or you can also just get something like the Donger mirror tap adapter. That's actually what I used, so that I wouldn't have to run a second cable to the fuse box. I just didn't want there to be too much bulk in the A-pillar itself. So that's how it went for the installation. Again, very straightforward, no drama. Next thing we'll talk about are the basic features and the user interface. So basic features, the front camera is advertised as a 4K camera. The rear camera is advertised as 2.5K, and then the in-cabin camera is advertised as 1080p. The front camera and the rear camera use the Starvis 2 sensors. I think the front is the Starvis 2 IMX678, and then the rear is the Starvis 2 IMX675. Apparently these sensors allow you to get much better image quality at night, specifically. I think that's why Redtiger is marketing their night vision mode as a full color night vision and not just a standard infrared. You can see for yourself how the night vision looks in traffic. I do plan to go to a not as well lit area so that we can see how the color is in low light situations without all the street lights and all that. So stay tuned for that. But that's one of the main features of the dash camera. This does include a fairly large, I think it's a 4-inch or a 3.5-inch touchscreen display. I really do like the display. It's gives you a really good insight as to what kind of picture quality you're getting. The big touchscreen makes it easier to navigate through the menu as well. And then as far as the menu goes, instead of using text that might be a little bit hard to read on such a small screen, they use icons for the menu, and again, because the display is touchscreen, it makes it really easy to navigate through the menu. You can also use the buttons on the bottom to navigate through the menu, but if you like using the touchscreen, this is definitely the easier way to go. Again, going through the menu, everything's very straightforward. No surprises anywhere, no real complaints that I have about the user interface. Connecting to Wi-Fi is really easy, and then on top of that, downloading and using the Redtiger app, I've also found to be really easy, and the app is not clunky at all. It's pretty well designed, in my opinion. I am going to be releasing a video going through the firmware update process soon. I recently had to do a firmware update on this particular camera just because I received an email from the marketing team at Redtiger telling me to update the dash camera as soon as I could. Next, I'll talk about the picture quality. I don't have any issues with the picture quality at all. I think it's really good. I do like the kind of color depth and color accuracy of the front camera for sure. I feel like the rear camera could use some help with the with the night vision in particular. Um, I found that in the mornings, around this time of year, um, mornings are dark. So when I set out to go to work, if I'm backing out of my driveway, all I have is the light from the brake lights, and there is no night vision, I guess, specifically on the rear camera. So it doesn't really pick up that much, and it looks a little dark. So I think that's one area of improvement that Redtiger could make on future versions of this camera. Um, but otherwise, picture quality from the front camera and from the cabin is really good. Um, I haven't had any issues, reading license plates from fairly close distances. I think it is pretty good, and you can see for yourself. This Prius that I'm following right now is probably about 2 or 3 car lengths ahead of me. And I'll let it slow down now. I'll let it get a little bit further so you can see how far you'll be able to read the license plate. So I guess that's far enough, I would say. So next thing we'll talk about is the price and the value of the dash camera itself, the Redtiger F17 Elite. Right now, the price of the Redtiger F17 Elite on Amazon.ca is $399. That's the retail price. But they currently have a coupon that you can apply that brings the price down $70 to $340. Sorry, $330. That I think is a pretty good value for what you get. Again, you're getting a 4K front cam, 2K at least, maybe more rear, as well as the third channel, which I feel like for an in-cabin resolution, you don't really need too much. Just having the in-cabin dash camera at 1080p, that gives me plenty of detail, more than I would need, really, I would say. I do feel that because this particular dash cam does have that picture quality, it does have the full color night vision, as well as it's nice to have the touchscreen for navigating the menu, and that really does improve the user experience or user interface for me. What else? I do like how easy it is to install the camera, both front and rear. It's very, no nonsense, especially if you've installed front and rear dash cam cables, or dash cameras, or run the rear cable to your car before. Very much the same as everything else out there, and really no drama. I do also like how easy it is to update the firmware on the dash cam, and just overall in general is just very easy to use. Didn't have any issues with anything in this initial stage. Again, I've only had the dash camera for about 3 weeks now, so it is still in the very early stages, but I would still say that it's overall a very good option. So some comparable cameras to the F17 Elite would probably be the Viofo A329S. That particular camera is $690 Canadian on Amazon.ca, with a coupon that can bring the price down to $650. The Viofo is a 4K front, 2K cabin, and 2K rear camera, and it actually, what I do like about the Viofo camera, besides their pretty good reputation for reliability in the past, is that Viofo does include, in that price, they include a polarizing lens filter, which they do not, which is not included on the F17 Elite, or the other camera that I'm going to compare it to is which would be the Rove R3. The Rove R3 itself is currently priced at $400 Canadian, with a coupon that brings it down to $350 as well. That particular dash camera, the Rove R3, has a 2K front camera, 1080 cabin, and a 1080 rear. It does have, the Rove camera does have a 3-inch touchscreen as well, and I do like how their user interface is designed. It looks a lot like a phone almost, just from the pictures that I've seen. One thing to mention though is that the Rove R3, it doesn't have like a full color night vision. It just uses the infrared night vision. And then one thing I'll also mention, going back to the Viofo A329S, that particular camera does use the Starvis 2 IMX 678 and 675 sensors in their cameras, the front and rear. Front, rear, and the cabin cameras. And I believe that because they use those cameras, or those sensors, the Viofo also has a full color infrared, full color night vision picture quality. I don't know if it's better or worse than what Redtiger offers, but with the same sensors, I'd be inclined to say that they're pretty similar. Now, as far as overall value for what you get, I do feel like the Redtiger kind of hits that, soft spot, or that kind of hits a middle spot in value. Really, for my needs, I would probably be okay with getting something like the Rove R3, which has a 2K front. That's been pretty good picture quality for me in the past, enough to get me out of various hit and run incidents, evidence, to use as evidence in collision claims or insurance claims. Works great for that. But again, if you're looking for something that gives you really good detail at night, good detail for reading license plates and things like that, then you definitely want a 4K camera. Lastly, I'm just going to go over a few things that I don't like about the Redtiger F17 Elite. With the first thing being that I don't really like the fact that if you want to save, or if you want to lock a clip or save a clip, you actually will have to wake the screen up by either tapping on the screen, or pressing a button in order to actually save the clip. If you don't, and you just press like the lock button on the bottom of the camera, it will not save the clip. It'll just wake up the display. So I do find it annoying that you have to do that. That could be why people say that that could be one of the reasons that people say their dash cameras don't save clips. And it just could be the fact that they're not waking the camera up and then hitting the lock button again in order to force it to save. Just to be sure, with this particular camera, the F17 Elite, you want to wake the screen and then you press the lock button, either tap it on the screen or press the button on the bottom, and the recording overlay on the screen will change from a red recording icon to an orange one, and then that's how you know that it's saving the clip. Just something that I found, and I really do hope that they improve it in future versions, maybe with a firmware update, that would be really great if they did that. So the other thing that I don't really like about this particular camera is the size, and I did mention that before. With the size of the camera, it is nice to have, you know, the large display of the cam, and, you know, the large touchscreen. That's really nice. But the trade-off being that you know, the camera is so large. It makes it's got a lot more presence on the windshield. It's a lot more obvious compared to something like the, you know, the Viofo A129 or A119, you know, that line of cameras where, you know, the screen is tiny but it's very sleek looking. It looks almost OEM compared to other cameras. Yeah, the F17 Elite being such a big, like, because it has such a big body, it's a lot harder to kind of hide or be discreet about where you mount it. And it kind of, sometimes it can actually interfere with other things that you might mount on your screen, or sorry, on your windshield. And it gives you, it basically just gives you less options for where you can mount the camera. May not be a big deal depending on what kind of vehicle that you drive, but just in my experience, I think that I'm coming from the A129 format or style of camera. I found that the Redtiger camera, and I guess pretty much any dash cam that's that size, is a little bit bigger than I'm used to, and that just might take some getting used to for me. Anyway, that is pretty much all I wanted to talk about today with this dash camera. Jesus, guy's got his high beams on. Yeah, if you have any questions or comments, feel free to leave them in the comment section. I'll try to answer them as well as I can. Yeah, thanks for joining me. A full color infrared, oh sorry, full color night vision picture quality. I don't know if it's better or worse than what Redtiger offers, but with the same sensors, I'd be inclined to say that they're pretty similar. Now, as far as overall value for what you get, I do feel like the Redtiger kind of hits